Asajj Ventress 4-star Wars Shatterpoint has been revealed, so we're going to talk about it. So yeah, we got an article for the Asajj Ventress Sith Assassin, and I've obviously cut off the title there, but we can see what it says quite clearly here, right? I'm just going to skip to the important bits. We're not really going to dwell on the fluff. So yeah, I think we might have seen some of this, but she's 8 SP, which basically means that you can spend 8 SP when building your list. She doesn't actually cost 8, she provides you 8, if that makes sense. If you're not familiar when I'm talking about, then that won't make any sense, but if you are, you'll know what I mean. She will give you 3 force to your pool as well. And we're just going to read the abilities, right? So the first ability, the dexterity one, in each character in this unit may jump. This unit may also use this ability twice during its activation. So you can literally spend your 1 force each time and do this twice. That means she's going to be very maneuverable. Now above, it sort of sounds like you can do that out of combat, like to disengage, but I'm not sure how that's going to work, right? The next one is a classic, Force Push. That's going to cost 2 force. Now basically, if you're within movement 3 of an enemy, you'll be able to push them up to 3 movement away. So in theory, you could push somebody who's just inside of range 3 and push them to nearly being 6 movement away from you. That sounds pretty damn strong and interesting. I'm wondering if there's going to be different levels of Force Push, or if there's just going to be one and that'll be it. She also has Riposte. After a melee attack targeting a character in this unit, the unit may use this ability. So basically, once she's attacked by a melee, if the attack contained an expertise roll, the attacking unit suffers 2 stamina damage, I think that is basically. So basically, if you try and melee her, Riposte, it sounds like it's just for free, right? It has a force cost of 0, so I think you'll be able to just do it for free as long as you're not like got a stamina damage, and then you'll do 2 wounds to whoever's attacking you. Pretty interesting, possibly very strong, or not. I don't really know how much the damage will matter, but you know what I mean. Riposte sounds very good. Slip away. So if any of the Separatist Alliance and the I was staying away from this word, is it Dathomirian? I've never actually heard it in the show, or if I have heard it, I literally cannot remember it. Either way, if it has this keyword in the Separatist Alliance and they shoot into a fight where she's engaged, she can then do 2 things. She can do whatever this symbol is, which I just can't remember what it is. If we've seen it, I can't remember. Obviously, this is some kind of disengage, right? Because of the title and what they talk about, but I'm not 100% sure which symbol means what exactly. She's also a Sith Assassin, which basically says when she wounds an enemy, she can get 3 health back. Pretty interesting, possibly very strong, right? If she wounds a primary or a secondary unit, then she can do this, which I think is like push or jump. And if it's actually a primary unit, then you refresh 2 of your force points back. So that sounds like that's going to be very good. And again, because this is like a more generic name, which is called Sith Assassin, I'm wondering if we'll see other people have that in the future. Either way, she sounds very maneuverable, very tricksy, and her combat is going to reflect that, right? She's going to pick her engagements, and if you engage with her and she doesn't want to be engaged, when she's probably going to be able to like get somebody to help her, somebody will shoot at that unit and she'll slip away. Very interesting, possibly quite strong. Obviously, I'm saying strong. I have absolutely no idea of the strength of any model right now, obviously, right? But it sounds interesting nonetheless. Then we'll have a look at her stance cards. Now, what's interesting here, if you have a look on a pure dice basis, you could argue that Jakai is the stronger one, right? Because you literally just get 1 extra melee attack. However, things are not that simple. It's not just about how many dice you get. It's also about your combat flow and what you actually can do with your expertise, right? Now, I'm not going to spend too long looking at the combat flow. I just don't understand. It looks like the defensive ones, you can maybe get a health back, maybe jump away as well, maybe then get some more health back, maybe push them away, but it's really hard for me to comment exactly what those are. And for her defensive one, if you can call it that, basically her expertise on the melee and range seem like a bit more simple, right? Hits and crits, and a jump if you're in the defended one from a melee, right? Which is interesting because that means effectively if you attack her, she might be able to just get away from you, I presume, which is going to be really awkward and frustrating, I think, to play against, but really fun and like characterful, I think. I'm sort of curious what this exclamation mark is. And I'm also curious what this one that looks like a gun is. We've seen it before, this one, but I've not seen it fully explained yet, so that'll be interesting to see. I'm not going to pretend to you that I actually know what these symbols are. I don't, but basically on this one she starts off on 2 different paths and then you like combine into one. Here she sort of starts off with 1 and she goes into 2, which then one of them then goes into 2. Pretty interesting. And on this one, her expertise is a lot different from the other one. I'm not 100% sure that symbol is. It might be push, it might not be. I don't really know, right? Without having the rule set memorized at this point, considering we've seen it all like spread out, I just simply don't know. Either way, it feels quite flavorful, and I think that's going to be cool. The reality is, it's Adepticon this week, I think. The demos are starting this week. We're probably going to see combat this week. Next week, they say, where we give you a first look at your favorite characters from the Star Wars Galaxy translate into the gameplay of Star Wars Shatterpoint. I am curious what that's going to be. A bit of me thinks we might get a video. I just sort of feel like that. I think we're going to get streams and people's like feedback from the floor in Adepticon, and then I think next week we're probably going to get like a proper trailer / video that maybe tells you how to play. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic. Either way, Asajj looking pretty cool. Gotta say, very interested. Let's see how the game plays this week. Let's see what information we get out from Adepticon. Anyway, if you like this video, press like. If you don't, whatever, that's fine. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye. I've no idea what this line is. I seem to have like randomly done this to my head, and for some reason the green screen effect that I used from this NVIDIA thing also makes me transparent. I don't know what that is.